Hello everyone, welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. It's been a while and I'm glad to get back into this, but I have absolutely no idea where we left off. So, I turned my thoughts back to the Marchen and to what Walt said earlier. What did Walt say earlier? Remind me, please. I wonder what Parfait wants to talk with us about. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, Lucette, I really did. I feel my heart beating erratically against my chest. Why do I feel like something bad is going to happen? It's because bad things do happen. We've been new. We have known about this. Other timelines. Fantastic things happening here. I realize that I have been standing in the open for a while. Perhaps I should move. People might find my standing here suspicious. I start walking again and am surprised when I feel a hand close around my wrist and pull me into the darkness. I open my mouth, but a hand muffles my scream. And it's Rod. Rod? Rod's gaze is icy. He speaks quietly, but I can feel the anger simmering underneath his words. What if someone saw you just standing there? Have you even thought about how they might get suspicious? Apparently it hadn't occurred to us. His tone is so accusatory that for a moment I cannot find my voice. Excuse you? But then, he is right. I should have been more careful. Sorry. Rod stares at me, surprised. Lucette? Sorry? Those two things don't go together. What? I never thought I'd hear you apologize, especially to me. Oh? Well, at least I know how to apologize, unlike you. Just verbally smack. And why would I ever have reason to apologize to you? They're just two peas in a pod. Because you've done nothing but treat me coldly, even when I have done nothing to personally attack you. Rod scowls at me, but does not say anything. Instead, he sighs and takes my hand, pulling me after him. What's the blush for? What? Let's go before the guards see us. I have no energy to argue with Rod, so I allow him to pull me along. I'm sorry. What? Couldn't hear you there. You might want to speak up a little. He apologized to me? Don't make me repeat myself. I didn't hear you clearly. If there's one thing I know about you, it's that you're not deaf. Of course I'm not. Why would you suggest? Shh, someone will hear you. I glare at Rod, but he does not respond. Princess, your hand is really warm. Stop saying things out loud! Rod freezes in place and glares at Sebi, who seems to be shrugging. Your thoughts are too loud, Rod. Through the dim lights, I can actually see a faint blush on Rod's cheeks. Huh! You are blushing. I noticed that earlier. I am not. He lets go of my hand and starts to walk toward the secret passage with me trailing behind him. We look around to make sure no one is in sight before we both slip inside. I follow closely behind Rod in silence. My eyes move upward to the little bunny plush hanging on his shoulder. Sebi, I've been wondering, have you ever talked with Rod's family as yourself? Rod suddenly stops and scowls over his shoulder at me like, how dare you even assume? How do you have the gall to ask? What? I'm asking Sebi, not you. No, I don't, Princess. Rod doesn't want me to talk with others since he thinks that I might say something unnecessary. Like always? So much for that. You still speak, even when it is unnecessary. In the dim lighting of the tunnel, I think I can see a faint pink in Rod's cheeks, but it's probably a trick of the strange lighting, not at all something that definitely happened earlier. Rod is right. Sebby has blurted out his thoughts more than a number of times, so you're not doing a very good job, Sebby sighs.
How can I not when Rod here is thinking too loudly? It makes my head ache.
You get headaches?
That's not the point. The point is that when he thinks on something too long, his head becomes cloudy and really full, like it's going to explode. That's why I gotta explain for him. He's not good at expressing his thoughts, so
Rod cuts Sebby off by pinching his little fuzzy cheeks.
Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I'll stop talking now.
Rod sighs and continues walking. Rod, have you spoken with Emmeline since that earlier incident? No. As much as I want to ask him again about his curse, I doubt that he will divulge anything right now. I decide to keep my thoughts to myself as we head for the Marchen. Ooh, that lovely little doo-doo. Good closing note. When we arrive at the Marchen, Parfait and Delora are there to welcome us. The others, however, are nowhere in sight.
Ah, it's been a while, Princess. Thank you for bringing her here safely, Prince Rod.
Where is everyone?
They're all resting in their rooms now. It wasn't necessary that they be here for what Delora and I want to discuss with you.
I will be staying in the tavern then. Rod is about to head for the tavern when Delora stops him. You don't have to leave. What we're going to say involves you too, since you're staying at the palace as well. Rod looks at her curiously, but asks no questions. Parfait and Delora gesture us over to the settee, where we all take our seats. This is something Rod and I must know because we're in the palace? I have a bad feeling about this.
Before we start, I would like to congratulate you on your first good deed, Princess. Delora told me all about it, and I can see the extra piece on your necklace as well.
Parfait smiles at me, her eyes filled with pride. Her faith in me rekindles the dwindling confidence I had, which was to say, none at all.
If only you'd seen how happy Delora was when she announced it to us.
You didn't have to go into specifics, Parfait.
Oh? Are you embarrassed, Delora?
She smiles at Delora teasingly before turning back to me.
Anyway, I know you can do it, Princess. Only 2 more to go, and you can break your curse.
Yeah, keep up the good work, Princess. And you too, Rod. So, what is it you wanted to discuss with us? I conducted a little investigation while I was with Lucette in the palace, and I found out something important. Something important? I discovered that there is a witch in the palace. A witch? Oh. Are they a good witch or a bad witch? A witch in the palace? I felt a tinge of magic while I was there. It was faint, but definitely there. I don't remember feeling it before when I was there as your doll, Princess. Huh. It seems that the witch is using a glamour to hide himself or herself from us.
A glamour is a magic that only very experienced witches can cast, which means the witch we are dealing with is no ordinary witch. They have the potential to be very powerful.
But what would a witch be doing in the palace in the first place? This witch could be after the king, but... But what? Parfait and Delora glance at each other, looking conflicted. It is Parfait who faces me first, her expression grave.
I am afraid there is some possibility we must make you aware of, Princess. And in order for us to explain it, we must give you the truth.
Oh, is this the truth about her mother? Oh, have we finally come to this impasse? The truth? My only answer is silence. I shift my gaze to Rod, but he avoids my eyes. What is going on? Princess, it is very likely that this witch in the palace is looking for you. What?
I cast a glamour on you a long time ago so that you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you, but this witch in question can see through the spell I've cast on you. It is my belief that they are actively looking for you.
I close my eyes and massage the temples of my head as I feel a headache coming on. What? Wait, you said before that the witches want to see their curses unbroken, but this sounds as if they have another motive altogether. What reasons could they have for trailing me?
The Tenenbaum has been without a bearer for some time, ever since the end of the war. A new bearer, however, will soon arise, and the crystal is ready to support them. Some of the witches, the wicked ones, want to make sure that the new Tenenbaum continues to spread darkness, even with this new bearer in charge.
Okay, but what does that have to do with me? Delora crosses her arms, her expression grim. The title of the bearer is passed down from one descendant to the next. Princess, the last Tenenbaum bearer was the late Queen of Angielle, your mother. I feel my blood go cold. What? As you are the Queen's daughter, you are the next heir. Come your 18th birthday, you will inherit the title of Tenenbaum bearer. Mother? A witch? Impossible! It can't be true! No! Why would you spout such lies? I narrow my eyes at them, searching for some hint that they are lying to me. Delora and Parfait never turn their sad eyes away from me. Rod glances at me briefly before turning away, looking uncomfortable.
Hildur, your mother and I used to work together to maintain balance, but then the witch hunt drove her mad and turned her heart to ice.
But she never used any magic. I would have known if she was a witch.
It's possible that you did in the past, but then it seems she erased all of your memories of her true identity. Delora was already able to ascertain that most of your memories of her had been snatched away. Hildur needed you to remain obedient, so that when you finally did inherit her role as the bearer, you would continue to do as she wanted.
My thoughts feel as if they are spinning endlessly on an axis. The real reason I cursed you was to see if you are truly capable of goodness, Princess. Hildur's influence clung to you even after her death, and we feared that you would continue her previous work. That Angielle might once again fall to darkness if you were not able to help the dark emotions in your heart. So then you cursed me, because you were terrified of what I would do if I became the bearer as I was. My only answer is silence. Now I understand why the people hated me. It was because I am my mother's daughter. I cannot help but reach out to touch the pendants on my necklace, as a feeling of dread washes over me.
We know that there is goodness in you, Princess. We only wanted you to realize it by breaking your curse.
Parfait sighs, looking guilty.
It was a selfish act on our part, I know. But we could not risk another great war.
They believe I would have plunged the world into a war? I turn to Rod, who has yet to speak since this conversation started. Did you know about all this? Everyone knows the story of the Tenenbaum the Tenenbaum bitch and her daughter. Whoops. Everyone except for me. I glance down at my hands, suddenly feeling numb. I am a witch, and I will become the Tenenbaum's next bearer. Just the thought of it makes me sick. I think back to my childhood. I can still recall the glares that everyone gave me when I was a child. They were scared of me because I was my mother's daughter? And what about the king? Did he never love me because I was the daughter of a witch? But if that is the case, if my mother was so wicked, then why did the king marry her in the first place? Hildur threatened to kill the woman that he loved if he did not marry her. She threatened to kill Ophelia. Ophelia? So the king has loved Ophelia from the very beginning? I clenched my hands into tight fists. After Mother died, he was able to reunite with his true love. And since then he has treated Emmeline and Rod better than he ever treated me, even though I am his daughter by blood. I want to feel angry about this revelation, but instead, I feel a dreary emptiness inside of me. A heavy feeling begins to settle in my chest, suffocating my heart. He never really loved me. Lucette? Rod's voice snaps me out of my thoughts, and that is when I realize that a stray tear has made it down my cheek. I quickly wipe it away with the back of my hand, angry at myself for showing weakness in front of them. You must be happy to see me like this. What? Your mother was made queen, and you and your sister became royals overnight. It's like something out of a fairy tale, isn't it? You thought you had the perfect life until I came back into it. I never asked for this to happen. I just wanted to... Rod suddenly moves his hand to Sebby's mouth, muffling whatever other words the plush was going to say for him. What is it you want to say, Rod? It's nothing. I can assure you, however, that the power that comes with the crown has always been irrelevant to my family and I. So stop assuming that everyone around you is after your title or your riches. Did your time with my sister not teach you anything? I'm about to angrily retort when I suddenly stop, my heart sinking. I have already recognized that Emmeline is more complex than I thought she was. And she has also told me that she never wanted to be a princess. My mother wouldn't have married the king if my father were still here. Delora looks between the two of us and sighs. And here I thought your relationship had improved. Now it seems like it's back to square one. I cross my arms and turn away, annoyed. Do you have anything else to add, Parfait? If not, I would like to return to the palace.
Princess, stay vigilant and be careful about who you trust.
Trust? How do you know who I might trust? What makes you even think I trust you? The anger that I was expecting earlier suddenly rises to the surface. For all I know, Parfait and Delora could be feeding me lies, playing with me the way Delora did when she first cursed me.
I don't expect you to believe what we've told you. Perhaps it was not yet the right time to reveal everything to you. But please, you need to be careful.
I stand up and look at them, my arms now hanging limply at my sides. How am I meant to trust anyone when all of you have been lying to me this entire time?
Lucette.
If you don't believe us, then try asking the king who Hildur truly is. Oh, I never even thought about asking the king about Mother. Rod, you should watch your back too. It's possible that this witch in question could be plotting something against the royal family as well. They have been in the palace for a long time, after all. She looks at me, then at Rod, her expression somber. I won't be able to stay with you anymore. I had to pick up and leave a few days ago because I was certain he'd caught a trace of my magic. He probably already has. I understand.
Anyway, Lucette is right to return to the palace now. Someone may notice your absence if you're gone much longer. You two should leave now.
Let us know if you notice anything unusual. I will.
We'll see you again soon, Princess. Remember, stay vigilant.
Constant vigilance! Oh, man. Well, that was a revelation or three. And so with that, I will see you all in the next video. So, bye-bye!